Did you know you've got microscopic helpers inside you right now that literally eat cholesterol? Seriously, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling the complex, kind of sneaky relationship between diabetes and cholesterol. And more importantly, we're going to show you how to outsmart them both using really simple, everyday food swaps. I am so excited to guide you through this because the science we're about to look at is just incredibly empowering.
I know it sounds straight out of science fiction, right? But according to data from the landmark Framingham Heart Study, there's a type of bacteria in your gut called Oscillobacter, and it actually metabolizes, or, eats, cholesterol right in your intestine before it ever even has a chance to hit your bloodstream. By the end of this explainer, you're going to know exactly how to feed these little microscopic helpers. Section 1, the silent health threat. Okay, to understand how to fix the problem, we first need to look at how high cholesterol and diabetes silently hide in our bodies. Okay, let's dive right into this. Let me share a quick story from the source material about a 43-year-old software manager named Rajan. Now, Rajan felt perfectly fine. No chest pain, zero breathlessness. But a routine checkup showed his bad cholesterol was sitting at a really dangerous 172. Without a single symptom, his arteries were just silently narrowing. To see why this happens, let's peek inside the body, starting with diabetes. Look, forget the dense medical textbooks. At its core, diabetes is just an energy management problem. Your body needs a hormone called insulin to act like a key, unlocking your cells so sugar can get inside and give you energy. When you have diabetes, that lock-and-key system is basically broken. So instead of actually fueling your body, all that sugar just endlessly floats around in your bloodstream, causing damage.
And then we have cholesterol. It gets a pretty bad rap, but honestly, it's a waxy fat that your body absolutely needs to build healthy cells and make hormones. The danger isn't that you have cholesterol. The danger is having way too much of the wrong kind, which then builds up into these hard plaques and silently blocks your blood flow.
And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. Think of LDL as the clogger. This is the bad cholesterol that sticks to your artery walls and spikes your risk for heart attacks and strokes. On the flip side, HDL is the cleaner. It's the good cholesterol that basically acts like a street sweeper, moving through your blood, picking up the bad cholesterol, and carrying it back to your liver to be completely flushed out. Simply put, you want the cleaner high and the clogger low.
But here's the kicker, where diabetes and cholesterol actually team up against you. The American Heart Association notes that having diabetes forces your lipid profile in the exact wrong direction. Doctors call this diabetic dyslipidemia. Basically, diabetes actively drives down your good, cleaning cholesterol while pushing up your bad, clogging cholesterol, along with triglycerides, which are another really dangerous fat in the blood. It just creates this highly toxic environment for your heart.
And depending on your genetics, this is a massive issue. There's one specific number that really stands out here, and it's 10. Research shows that Indian populations, for example, tend to develop coronary artery disease up to 10 years earlier than Western populations. They're highly prone to high triglycerides and those small, dense, artery-clogging cholesterol particles. This is exactly why early, smart dietary intervention is absolutely crucial.
Section 2. Fats, carbs, and fiber. Now that we know what's going wrong behind the scenes, let's look at how we can use food to fundamentally rewrite our blood chemistry.
Okay, here is a rule that totally changes the game, the 80-20 rule. Did you know your liver actually produces about 80% of the cholesterol in your body? Only 20% comes from the food you eat. So you might be wondering, well, why does my diet even matter if my liver makes most of it anyway? Because eating the right foods doesn't just fix that 20%, it actually sends chemical signals straight to your liver, telling it to slow down its own production.
And one of the most powerful ways to send that slow down signal is through soluble fiber. Soluble fiber, which you'll find in oats, lentils, dal, and beans, is a total superhero. When you eat it, it forms this thick, sticky gel in your gut. This gel acts like a physical trap, grabbing onto bad cholesterol and bile acids and just flushing them right out of your digestive system before they can even reach your bloodstream. Meanwhile, refined carbs like white bread and sweets, they just spike your blood sugar and tell your liver to panic and produce even more cholesterol.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the truth about cooking oils. We always hear we should use olive oil, right? But that doesn't always hold up to high-heat Indian cooking. Cold-pressed mustard oil is highly recommended here. It's anti-inflammatory and packed with omega-3s. On the other hand, you want to heavily limit refined sunflower oil because excess amounts promote inflammation. And you absolutely must avoid vanispathi or hydrogenated fats completely. They're pure trans fats and they will shoot your bad cholesterol straight through the roof.
And if you want a true natural powerhouse, check out this stunning result from a clinical trial in the Indian Journal of Pharmacology. They found that taking 500 milligrams a day of amla, the Indian gooseberry, produced almost identical LDL cholesterol reductions as a popular prescription statin drug. No way, right? It's just an incredible example of how powerful natural whole foods can be for our heart health.
Section 3. Smart daily food swaps. So, how do we actually put all this into practice? Let's step into the kitchen. I'm going to show you a few incredibly easy daily swaps. You don't have to overhaul your whole life overnight. Just make these simple trades.
First up, let's swap out that white rice for brown rice or quinoa. Look, white rice is heavily refined. When you eat it, it hits your bloodstream almost like pure sugar, which triggers a massive insulin release and causes the liver to panic-produce cholesterol. Brown rice and quinoa, though, they keep all their natural fiber. That fiber creates a slow, steady release of energy, which keeps your blood sugar stable and your liver nice and calm.
Swap number 2. Ditch the sweetened packaged yogurt and enjoy plain, homemade curd, also known as dahi. Hey, remember those cholesterol-eating Oscillobacter bacteria we talked about at the very beginning? Well, plain fermented curd is packed with exactly the kind of probiotics you need to feed and multiply those good bacteria. Packaged yogurt, unfortunately, is usually just loaded with added sugar that inflames your arteries. And when snack time rolls around, step away from the packaged namkeen, bhujia, and deep-fried chips. They are almost always cooked in cheap, refined oils and are just loaded with trans fats. Instead, grab a handful of roasted makhana, also known as foxnuts, or some walnuts. Walnuts are incredible because they're packed with heart-protecting plant sterols which naturally block cholesterol from being absorbed in your gut.
Section 4. Crafting your daily plate. To prove just how delicious and doable this routine actually is, let's look at exactly how to construct your meals. This is definitely not about starvation, it's about strategic eating. Check out this beautiful, balanced timeline based on the Asian Heart Institute's recommendations. You kick off the day with methi, fenugreek seeds, which are known to reduce cholesterol absorption. Breakfast is a nice, fiber-rich oat dahlia. Lunch perfectly spaces out complex carbs with brown rice, protein from the palak dal, and probiotics from that homemade curd. An afternoon snack of roasted chana keeps you full, and a light dinner of khichdi or quinoa sets you up for a great night of digestion. Notice how the fiber and protein are just perfectly spaced out to prevent any blood sugar spikes all day long? Now, of course, diet doesn't work entirely on its own. Just doing these 3 simple lifestyle steps practically doubles the effectiveness of your healthy diet. A 30 to 45-minute brisk walk directly raises your good cholesterol. Getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep lowers overall body inflammation. And managing stress is absolutely critical because cortisol, your main stress hormone, is a direct trigger for your liver to pump out more cholesterol. So yeah, relaxing literally lowers your cholesterol.
Section 5. 3 key takeaways. So, the crucial point is this. Your health is largely in your hands, and mostly on your plate. Let's wrap this up with the absolute most important things you need to remember.
Let's rapidly recap so you can easily screenshot this. First, diabetes and cholesterol team up to damage your arteries, but they're highly treatable through your lifestyle. Second, soluble fiber is your absolute best friend. Think oats, dal, and methi, acting as a physical trap to flush out that bad cholesterol. And third, you do not need a massive life overhaul. Simple swaps, like choosing cold-pressed mustard oil over refined oils, make an incredible difference over time.
So, here's my question for you today. Knowledge is great, but action is what actually changes your blood work. What is one simple food swap you're going to make today? Will you switch your white rice to brown? Maybe soak some methi seeds tonight? Make a choice right now to start feeding those amazing cholesterol-eating bacteria in your gut. Thank you so much for hanging out and learning how to outsmart diabetes and cholesterol with me. If you found this explainer helpful, please hit that like button, drop a comment letting us know which swap you're choosing today, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our simple, visual guides to taking control of your health. Stay healthy, and I'll catch you in the next one.